Welcome to Pi by the podcast. Today we are cutting straight to what matters and not what agentic AI could do. But we are talking about agentic AI, the next evolution of artificial intelligence that make decisions, solve complex tasks, and operate with a real autonomy. It's more than an automation, it's intelligence that acts. Let's unpack the technology shaping tomorrow, but what it takes to make it work inside a real enterprise. We have two guests with me, Himanshu Shah, a co-founder at Pi by 3, Shanti Mutwani, industry expert and advisory board of Pi by 3, who has seen a larger scale AI transformation up close. Let's get into it. Shanti, so everyone's talking about agentic AI, but the definitions are all over the places. From your experience advising the enterprise, how should the leaders understand it?
Yeah, I agree. Everyone looks at the agentic AI in their own way. To me, it's the biggest shift from where we started with ChatGPT 3 years back. The agentic AI is the biggest shift we have seen in the industry. The leaders should leverage it fully to deliver enterprise scale end-to-end solutions, rewire their business process, and achieve end-to-end goals. If you have to unpack what do I call agentic AI in true sense, 5 attributes are important for any of us to call AI agent as an AI agent. The first one is a goal-oriented. You can't give tasks or questions to agent. It has to be a goal-oriented. Give a goal. The second thing is the reasoning capability, which is planning it step by step. That's agentic attribute. The third thing is ability to act, which is the biggest shift in terms of taking actions. The fourth is reflect, equally important. Ability to self-correct, ability to self-learn, that makes them adaptable. The last one is equally important, the collaboration capabilities. Collaborate with users, collaborate with the existing systems in enterprise, and most importantly, collaborate with other agents. That's to me is the right definition of agentic AI.
Wonderful. And Himanshu, at what point does AI stop assisting and start owning execution responsibility from what you see on the ground at Pi by 3?
See, essentially, there was this API as a service, right, and software as a service. Now, instead of invoking an API, now we are invoking agents, right, and we are looking at end-to-end service to be delivered, not just an API call, right? So the enrichment and the experience that you have is an end-to-end experience, not just an API invocation that you have. So you are seeking a business outcome rather than making an API call now, right? So every invocation of an agent is more about getting a business outcome rather than just a single call for a service.
Shanti, that raises a real dilemma. How do autonomy and governance need to evolve together?
To me, autonomy, governance are two sides of the same coin. Both go completely hand in hand. You can't go one way or the other. The governance is absolutely needed for us to drive more autonomy. And the whole purpose of agents is the more autonomy you gain, the value you gain in a way. I'll give a good analogy in terms of how you can compare. All of us hear the brake for the car. We know the function of the brake is stopping the car. But what will actually help us achieve is that the brakes help us accelerate the car. I can drive the car at speed because I know I have the brakes. I can stop when I need to. Governance is exactly the same. We should keep on switching the gears to more and more autonomy as long as I got the right governance in place.
That's great. Himanshu, how does Pi by 3 approach the balance between autonomy and governance in practice? And how should both evolve together as an organization grows?
So what we have observed is that every industry is trying to create their own vertical AI, right, with their own industry flavor added to it as part of this, right? So when he mentions autonomy and governance go hand in hand, right? I beg to differ a bit. Autonomy has to be very tightly coupled to the industry that you are talking to, and the governance aspect has to be tied to the compliances that are associated with that particular industry, right? So that autonomy has to be associated with that governance. And from that point of view, now I think evaluation, governance, LLM Ops are the key areas in which everyone, including Pi by 3, is trying to focus on, and that's, I believe, what the future is going ahead for every industry that we talk about.
Okay, that's great. So Shanti, when initiative do make it to the scale, what foundational capabilities are consistently present?
To me, there are many. If
Yeah.
you ask the core foundational capabilities, I'll go with four.
Okay.
The first one we already talked about, the governance, the governed platform is key to building the right foundation, absolutely essential for scaling across enterprise. The second one is strong data foundation. You need to have very, very strong data foundation. We have been going through a data transformation in multiple ways, but what Agentic AI needs is taking it to the next level. It's not just a clean data. You need a contextual data for Agentic AI to make the right decisions and operate autonomously. The strong data foundation is the third one. The third one, which people normally don't get right, is the well thought through architecture. Designing the agents, building the right architecture across enterprise, looking at their roadmap for 12 to 24 months. Extremely critical. I've not seen many organizations get it right yet. And the fourth one is continuous evaluation. We have been seen when we move to DevOps, CI/CD for ages. When we go to Agentic AI, CI/CD is not enough. What I call is what we need in future is CI/CD CE. In addition to CI/CD, you need a continuous evaluation framework because agents will not keep performing the same way as they are performing today. They drift. The data changes, the underlying context changes, so we need to be continuously evaluating. So to me, these are the extremely important four foundational capabilities every organization needs to get right to get the maximum value.
See, essentially, earlier when we talked about architecture, right, security was an afterthought, right, and that's how DevOps was the key buzzword. But then the realization came that security has to be taken care of or talked about during the analysis phase itself, and then DevOps evolved into becoming a DevSecOps offering, right? On similar lines, today, when you talk of Gen AI, we have reached that maturity level that now we have realized that governance has to be spoken of during the analysis of the design phase itself, right? And it cannot be an afterthought, right? And that is where I think if embarking on a journey, if you take care of the four aspects that you mentioned, right, having the right platform, but at the same time talking about governance at the same time would probably help.
And especially on the observability and the auditability, how critical are those for a long-term adoption in your experience building this system?
It's extremely critical as we start scaling these systems across enterprise. This is one of the reasons we have seen post pilots, most of the organizations are failing to scale across enterprise and get the true value. The observability, auditability is one of the critical enabler for us to scale across our organizations. As you start scaling more and more agents deployed in productions, extremely critical. The second thing Himanshu talked about, the compliance part. In the regulated industries, you just simply can't scale without having these functionality built up front. So to me, it is extremely critical element of as we scale.
Okay. From industry side platform thinking versus individual use cases, how important is that distinction of the enterprises making AI decisions right now?
I would say platforms we talked about the key success factors. The platform is one of the enablers to build it right for us to scale across enterprise. That way, it creates a lot more standardization across my enterprise because you have many moving parts to fix. So platform gives us a good starting point. It acts as a big accelerator. A lot of the foundational capabilities every organization has to build. You can't build all over again. Every enterprise, multiple lines of businesses are trying to do something different. Having a foundational platform brings the level playing field, which will give a good level of acceleration as well as standardization across the enterprise. That is going to help them scale faster as they grow.
So that is where Pi by 3 has developed a platform called generated box, right? It gives you the advantage of beginning right from day one, right? So as a platform, it ensures that we are able to talk about the budget, the ROI, the models that you should look at, the skills that you need, right? And from a scalability point of view and futuristic relevance point of view, right? What are the governance aspects, or from a support for agentic AI platform, or looking at existing platforms like LangChain and LangGraph, and how we support it right from day one, right? Without getting too many resources thinking over as to how to get started. It is more like having a ready-made platform which acts as a benchmark to begin with, and then it helps you to scale up, not just from the platform point of view, but from your business cases point of view as well. And over the last 2 years, what we've now done is added as a threat, right? Governance cannot be an afterthought, right? So we have now made it an agentic AI first, governance first platform where you can think about metrics, you can think about evaluation, you think about LLM Ops, you think about compliance, along with the use case that you're trying to implement. And it's a ready-made platform that you can start right from day one. So that's what Chennai in a box is on the platform.
That's great. So Shanti, Himanshu, sharp and practical, exactly what this conversation needed to be. So thank you both. For everyone listening 5x3, so you can visit pi3.com and genaiinabox.ai. Links in the show notes. Until next time, keep executing, not just experimenting. Thank you.